I'm getting ready.
Okay, here comes Lisa.
All right.
We're live. Are we live?
Not yet.
Am I interviewing the two of you?
Yeah, you're the boss.
Okay.
So you got to kick it off. I'll hold my hand up and you take it over. Of
All right. I got it.
course, we're already at the first fucking break.
Don't make me laugh. I'm not muted.
Clock and do it right.
I know. So you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'll
So start me and you teach me. You do the math and I'll do it.
Do the math, Adrian.
I'm just playing. Okay. Ready? I'm going.
Go.
Be ready.
We're live. Hey, this is Richard Bliss Brooke here for the Tom Chenault Leadership Show. And guess who I have that I'm interviewing today? None other than Adrian Chenault.
Hello.
And his grandfather and employee, Tom Chenault. And these guys are the founders and the visionaries of the most radical, most useful, most quantum leap technology in networking ever invented. MIT, Cornell, it doesn't matter. Yale, where'd you go, Adrian?
Good.
We'll take
I'll take it.
We're talking about contactmapping.com. Write that down right now, folks. www.contactmapping.com.
Goodbye, listeners.
And why did they create this program? Because these two guys, started by the grandfather of networking, the coffee shop interview himself, Mr. Tom Chenault. You look up networking, relationship building, listening, rapport, service leadership in Wikipedia, and you see a picture of Tom Chenault. And then you see a little over in the corner, you see a little picture of Adrian.
He's coming out. He's closing fast, Richard, and I'm very, very proud of that.
Yes, I know. So I am here to ask the two of you, in whatever kind of dance you want to answer these questions. When you look at the network marketing community, which of course, in my opinion, includes like the mortgage community, the real estate community, the any kind of entrepreneurial business where how we grow our business is connecting with new people and sharing our story. So you could call that the network marketing business, even if you own like a hair salon or a yoga studio or a car dealership. We're all networking. And we got the masses out there that are still doing it the old way. Here's what you should do. My car's the best. My opportunity's the best. My product's the best. If you don't do this now, you're going to miss out. Me, my. You should. Here's my question. How is it, where is it, Tom, that you had the epiphany or the vision to pivot out of being a hypester that didn't pay attention to what anybody else wanted or who they were and went right for you should buy my product? What had you pivot out of that BS into listening and learning and loving other people before you even had the thought of selling them something?
I'd come out of the stock brokerage business and the sale was everything. And I was in another company, a skincare company, and I was their rising star. And I was standing on the stage and I lied through my teeth, just like most people do. They reinvent history to make themselves the hero. And I said, and first of all, I quit being a stockbroker. I got fired and analyzed all the companies. I answered it in the paper and found this company to be the greatest. And I decided to walk away from my lucrative or whatever the word, stock brokerage career and jump into network marketing. And I'd stand on this stage and tell them I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And a guy grabbed me And I'll never forget it. A guy named Bill Shepard and said, Tom Chenault, you got unbelievable skill. You got charisma, but you are so arrogant. Your self-esteem is at an all-time low. Your ego is almost as big as your stomach. And you have got to change. Otherwise, you are going to fail and to take a lot of people with you. And it was a harsh conversation, much worse than that. And I'll never forget it. And somehow, as arrogant and ego-driven as I was that day, I was able to hear him. And I'd done the landmark forum. I was in Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm now in network marketing. And I swear to you, that day, I just said, he's right. And I started crafting a conversation that merged the landmark forum with Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 steps and network marketing. And this magic show became contactmapping.com/CSI. Yeah, that's what happened. It was amazing.
Okay. Well, a couple things that I'll ask you about that. One, I don't believe that a person can go from going 100 miles an hour this direction and somebody says something and they all of a sudden go 100 miles an hour this direction. I would have to suspect, Tom, that you had a voice in your gut telling you what you were doing was wrong. What you were doing was not really authentically you.
Well, yeah, there's no question. I was people with me, and that comp plan had I was something called the Diamond Qualify, and you had to have all kinds of legs. And if you didn't hit those leg volumes, those people rolled over you. So I was literally buying my check. It was a decent sized check, it's like $7,000 a month, but I was literally buying it. So I was living a lie, and I was newly sober. And if I didn't shift and hit that gift of desperation right then, I get drunk again too. So there were a million things that made me do that pivot, because I knew I was going right back to my old ways of being a stockbroker and a drunk. And I was just this close to my next drink. And I think that's why I had that gift of desperation. And nobody's ever been smart enough to ask me that question before.
Where's Bill Shepard?
Prison. No, I have no idea. I have no idea.
All right. Well, I have an assignment. I have an assignment.
Another couple of multi-level marketing companies and ultimately washed out, but he did me a favor.
I have an assignment for you, Mr. Networker.
Find him.
Find him, call him, interview him, do him a kindness, because the number of people that he's impacted around the world in 200 different countries and 1,000 different languages and 172 different time zones, or however many they are, is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Because you have been a big pebble in the pond. Adrian, when did you first recognize this conversation in your dad such that you said to yourself, wow, there's something here. There's gold here. There's traction here. This is more than just dad's marketing rhetoric, and let's do something profound with it. I know the idea, contact mapping, the software didn't come from Tom. That's way too organized thought process.
So it's funny. I was living overseas, so I spent 5 years living outside the U.S. And I think that was a particularly good time for your and my relationship, because I was far enough away from him that I think our relationship, that was when we really started to really be more friends than father and son. And like, we kind of went through that evolution in our relationship. And dad was going through this time of really going, what's my legacy? Where, where do I really want to, how do I go play bigger beyond, being famous in my company or whatever it is? And we were having that conversation. And meanwhile, I had gone through a time where I was under a ton of pressure in my job, was realizing that, this corporate ladder that seemed so much shinier than the network marketing ladder had a few missing rungs in its own right. And so there was just this sort of intersection of those two things. And the moment we were having this conversation about his legacy, and meanwhile I'm like completely unhappy in my job. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. My wife is like ready to kill me because I work 24 hours a day and we have 3 small children living in a German speaking country. And I was home at Christmas trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I had an epiphany moment, literally. And I was taking a shower, as Thomas likes to always make sure to point out in as vivid detail as he can conjure.
Butt naked.
But that's the light version. But I had this moment of going, oh my God, what you have done is so profound. And it's so much bigger. You know, he had created the coffee shop interview already, but it's so much bigger than just that, because it's about transforming lives, and we needed to play it bigger. And so that was where that conversation was born.
Beautiful. All right. So you got humble beginnings. You guys, I mean, like anything, we're trying to get to go viral, right? It's like you tell 4 people and they each tell 4 people, and that's 16, and they tell 4 people, that's 64, and they tell 4 people, and that's 256. You add them all up, that's like 340 people, but that's not enough, and we're all broke at 340 people. Okay. The 256 is 1,024, and that's still not enough. And so kudos to you guys to have the faith and the vision to hang in there until you get to tipping point, which I know you'll get to any day now, any month now, where it goes from however many thousands you have to the hundreds of thousands that it deserves. Where do you see contact mapping going beyond network marketing, like all the other endeavors out there that rely on networking?
Today is Taylor Worre's birthday. Today is Curtis Broom's birthday. What Taylor Worre really loves about me is what I remember about him. What Curtis Broom loves about me is what I remember about him. What all of us love about that other person, why we go back to that restaurant. Contact mapping is not an application. It's not a whiz-bang deal. It's a way of life. We're training people to be better human beings in their families, their extended family tree, all the way through their neighborhoods, everywhere. I mean, this is great for being better salespeople, but it wasn't built for that. It was built for the human race. So where do we see it going? Absolutely everywhere, because we're sick of being sound bites. We're sick of being ID numbers. We're sick of not being able to call a human being at Amazon or eBay or anywhere. And we want to be known. We want to be remembered. And that's point one. And point two is everybody's data is being stolen. Your personal information, let's face it, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, they're all free. The reason they're free is because you are the product, and they are farming you. And we're committed that we completely respect your data. Your company app, you might think you've got the most unbelievable app. It will scratch your back. But the minute you leave that company, you're done. And I don't care whether you're in the pharmaceutical sales business or a network marketing company. And our commitment with this, his partner's got a PhD from MIT in computer science, and his whole gig is making sure that we are keeping everybody safe. And that's what we do. We've got to take a little break.
Yeah,
so
it's break time.
Oh, I'll take us out, even though you're the host. So this is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Thank you so much, Genesis Communication Network. This is Richard Brooke, Adrian Chenault, and his grandfather, Tom Chenault. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Okay, so this is great. So this is, so you can...
We can finally talk about contact mapping.
Yeah, this is exciting. So you're running 6 miles a day.
No, I'm not running anywhere. I'm not Forrest Gump. Exercise has always been my nemesis. It's not the right vision, of course, and it's not the right affirmation, but the truth is I've never done a great job of affirming and envisioning and falling in love with the process of exercise. It actually is painful for me to exercise. And so I'd rather work than work out. so I'm fat. And, you know, it only takes 3 pounds a year times 20 years. 3 pounds a year is not very much, right? That's like
Nothing.
an ounce a day or something. It's like nothing. Like you wouldn't even know that I was getting fat unless you looked at me every 7 years. So I'm just taking advantage of this pandemic where I don't have to travel because travel is my nemesis. And I'm working while I'm working out because I was telling a gal today, I was talking to Amanda Maynard, happy birthday. I finally figured out how to play Audible on my phone through a headset and how to pick the books and listen to the books. And why did it take me 10 years to figure out how to play Audible on my phone? I don't know, but I got it all figured out. And so now I do my Facebook Lives every day from my hike, and I listen to books and I make phone calls, and then I split it because what I've been doing is these marathon things, you know, like an hour and a half, 2-hour hikes, and they are really painful. And so now I split it up. So I'm doing an hour in the morning, and with my Facebook Live and books and phone calls, it goes by just like that. And then I do an hour in an evening, and I'm doing an hour in the evening when I normally would be eating dinner.
You look good.
Oh,
Yep.
So I have to stop. Am I rambling?
You're good. You're good. Sorry, we're getting a little bit of latency is all.
Oh,
We're good. We got another minute and 15.
okay. So anyway, I just figured out how to take those things that I love to do, which is work, and learn and integrate it into my workouts. And then I split my workouts into 2, so they're a lot simpler and easier and faster. And so, yeah, I'm doing about 17,000 steps a day, 6 miles in 2 pieces, easy peasy. But, you know, a month doesn't mean anything. I have to figure out how to do this for a year before I get rid of 30 years of neglect.
Well, I have a horrific picture of you in the bathtub, so I will attest to the fact that you have some work to do. So that is so funny. But because
Hey,
it
Larry's
was so
here.
horrific, the picture he sent me, that it's okay. So the fact is that it was so horrific that I sent him one of me the same way, just so we had reverse blackmail on each other. Was that nice enough of me?
That was very nice because you had it on me.
Yeah.
And Kimmy sent that to you. I didn't send it to you.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I go, golly, I got a really good picture. He goes, that's impossible. And I said, well, let me show you. And it was hilarious. So so now we're going back.
We got Larry Benet here.
Yeah, we do. That's all right. We're not going to use him for 5 minutes. So just keep that.
Oh,
We're going to continue with you for 5 minutes, and he's coming back right after this next break.
All right, awesome. So back to, well, actually, tell me, Tom, tell us, because contact mapping gets all the press, but the coffee shop interview is the foundation of it. It's the philosophy behind it. It's the practical application of it. Tell us about the coffee shop interview and how people can learn about that.
Well, I used to basically tell people what it was, and then Adrian wrote it down, and then he made an ebook called the Coffee Shop Interview ebook, which is free, and it's on the contactmapping.com website, and all you do is put /CSI, but basically you're interested, not interesting, and you're never throwing up on anybody, and you're finding out what they want to buy, you're finding out what they don't want to buy, and you're waiting a couple of days and you're selling them back what they said they wanted to buy 3 days ago, and you don't ask them if they want to buy what they said they didn't want to buy. It's a magic trick. You never get rejected. And then you've already asked a bunch of questions about their time, their money, their health, and all that other garbage in form. And at the end of the day, what happens to you is you are related, and you're absolutely pointing a laser beam at what it is in their life that you can help them with. And you're going to find out that in 9 out of 10 conversations, it's got nothing to do with your network marketing company or your business. You're going to be a better human being because your job, if you take it on, is everybody that you meet, you leave feeling better about their life than when they got there. And that's the whole show. And then you learn how to connect people and connect people and connect people and be of service with integrity. And if you do that, you are absolutely invincible, right?
Totally true. And one of the things that I've been thinking about a bunch in the last few weeks, because it's really, that's so true and so powerful. But once you start doing it, you actually you become the person that you're so confident you're going to leave them better than you found them, that they grasp that before you open your mouth.
Yeah.
And I think that's a whole other layer of this kind of revelation of what this does in your life, is that you actually become believable as a human being, as somebody that cares, as somebody that can help, because you've done enough times that you know you can, and your energy shows up that way. Instead of, I think we often kind of, we all kind of start off going, is this really going to work? And it takes a little while before you find your way to that level of believability.
Yeah, it does take some confidence and some patience.
Yes.
Right. Can't be desperate. Desperate doesn't map onto this. Tom, tell me this. Adrian, you have this to look forward to. You mentioned it, but I just want to explode it some. That what percentage of the people that you have developed relationships with, because you were interested in building relationships, what percentage of those people that you have rich, beautiful relationships with that make up your life and how extraordinary your life is, what percentage of those people are on your network marketing sales team?
Minuscule. It is minuscule. In fact, the other day I was actually inquiring into that, Richard, and it's funny that you ask, because on Facebook just alone, I've got 5,000 friends and about 15,000 followers. And only 2,000 or so of those people are in my network marketing business. And that's on Facebook. In my phone, it's an even more abysmal number, because I suck so bad at sales, but I'm so good at enrollment. So I've got these incredible friends in my phone. But I will tell you that my friends know that they are my friend, and that I will go as deep as humanly possible in front. And if I wanted to convert the majority of those people into business partners, I probably could, but I would rather sell wine. I don't want to sell wine before it's time. I would rather have those people find a need and come to me. And I never am out looking for a lead. I have leads and people chasing me all the time, literally begging me to do business. And I truly drop them off where they want to be. And most of the time it's not inside of my company. It's someplace else that's serving their life better.
And even in that, people might say is an indirect, altruistic approach to building a business, that's resulted in perhaps like something like 1 million people in your database and a 7-figure income.
Yeah. It's turned into a monster amount of money and a monster amount of peace of mind. And it's not about the money. It's about the difference I've made and the people that thank me for actually caring about their life and not having an agenda and trying to steer them where they're happiest versus where I want them.
Servant leadership. And with that, it's time to take a break. This is the Genesis Radio Network, Tom Chenault Leadership Show. We'll be right back at you.
Thank you.
That's good.
Oh, God. All right.
You nailed the break.
Yeah. So Larry Benet is going to come on, who's one of the more connected people I think I've ever met. And I really can't figure the guy out, because I can't figure the guy out. And I want to have him on the show. And it will be fun during the other side, because I want to know how this guy makes these connections. I think I saw him at Kobe's funeral. I think I saw him at Tony Robbins' birthday party. And we'll get to that on the other side of the break. Talk a little bit of contact mapping, Adrian, because
we haven't talked about that enough. To talk about that some more.
Talking about it in the form of a commercial.
Yeah, sounds good. So enough about me. Let's talk about what you think about it. So the thing that has been that I've been obsessing about ever since we started this, and I have redoubled my obsession on this, is what we're in the business of is transformation. What we want to have happen in your life is that you have such a radical shift in the way that you carry yourself in relationships in every part of what you do, not just your job, not just how you recruit people, not just how you do your team or whatever it is, that it shows up in every single part of your life. And what has to happen for that to be true is you have to have access to the tools. And so contact mapping is, the app is this great tool that makes it easy for you to do that. Really, at the end of the day, if you don't do the work, then it's not like what you want to happen is not going to, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. It's just like network marketing, right? You can have the greatest product in the world, the most beautiful system, everything you could possibly imagine. But if you don't do the work and follow and do the stuff, then nothing's going to happen. And what we found and what we find is that some of us are really self-governed and we're really good at creating like that accountability for ourselves. But most of us need a little there. And so where we are going and what is shifting literally as we speak is that we are going to play huge.
We switched it, and we realized that we've been letting all these high-priced trainers kick our ass, and we're not going to let that happen anymore. So here's the deal. The way that it used to go down was I believe that you had to get the training, so you learned all the skills, and then you learned radical self-inquiry and love and compassion, and then you learned to share it with people, this beautiful tribe. And now my whole supposition is this, it just moved over. We're going to teach you the love and compassion. We're going to teach you the rigorous self-inquiry that has you understand how you have human beings that you meet with feel loved, feel like they can trust you, and that they feel a part of your tribe. And then we're going to send you to all the trainers. But we're going to live on the front end of it instead of, because what we were doing before is we were letting these people get in the popcorn popper, and then we had to unpop them to go get back in the popcorn popper. Now does that make sense?
No.
No, it's so genius. I can't believe it.
You lost
That doesn't make any sense at all. So,
you're going to have to rewatch the show.
Hey, I got to go.
All right. Get out of here.
You are a heck of a radio host.
I'm sorry I'm going to miss Larry. He is a fascinatingly connected dude that find out what he does for a living.
I'm going to just figure out the guy. He's an enigma to me. Terrible at calling back and follow up. I can't figure out how he's got it. I want to know his magic trick. So I'll let you know. So come back and watch the rest of the show.
All right. Thanks.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. How much time do we have left?
We got 1 minute left on the break.
All right. So contactmapping.com. I'm going to put up a new graphic of the way. Shut up. Run a commercial. This is okay. So Brooke is a mess. He usually wants to buy survivalist gear on.
I know you've got a future selling survivalist gear. You got a great radio voice.
Silver impregnated bacon is my favorite. That stuff lasts forever.
I can look through the people on this Facebook feed, Brian Baum, Justin Gassman, and I can tell you the story of every one of those human beings. I can tell you when I can tell you what I love about them. I can tell you the names of their children, and that's the most important part in a human being. What?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're popping. So we'll do. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. So I am. So two things. In the last 30 days, last 3 weeks, I got into the PPE medical supply business. So literally, I'm trying to save first responders right now with getting the medical supplies. I'm dealing with state governments, FEMA, the VA, all sorts of stuff. So my time right now is at an absolute premium. So I told them I could be on from 2:34 for about 10 or 12 minutes, which is now.
Okay, well, let's get you on. Go ahead. We want to hear from you because you are super important. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pop in. So just welcome back to the Network Marketing Leadership Show. It's Tom Chenault. It's Adrian Chenault. And we've got Larry Benet with us. And this guy is super, super connected. Somebody I have been absolutely obsessed with for a very, very long time, to the point that I watch him on Instagram. I watch him on Facebook. because he lives a life of connection. And I just want to know, in this very, very short amount of time that you've got, tell us, how in the heck did you become Larry Benet?
You know, bottom line is one relationship at a time, and adding I have a philosophy of give first, add value always try to make a difference. But if I look back to the early 1990s, I was involved in the financial services, like a network marketing, like not a network marketing, but an agency that allowed me to recruit other people into financial services. My mentor had built, that guy had built 2 different billion-dollar companies. Anyway, the point is I was failing miserably. I had attempted to get into the technology industry, and can't remember exactly how old I was, but I was probably in my early 20s, mid-20s. And for the first time in my life, when I went from financial services into tech, I realized every time I would ask someone, hey, do you know anyone at Microsoft? Do you know anyone at SAP? And everyone would say no. And I felt like out of control for the first time in my life. And I vowed never again will I ever allow that to happen. I fortunately got into the technology industry. I was just in sales, got fired, believe it or not, for my first software selling job because I did not take the paperwork and all the, when they wanted updates on, you know, everything, I guess I didn't get it to them in a timely manner. I didn't get my expense reports done in a timely manner. And me being the entrepreneur, I didn't think it was that big a deal. I figured I'll get it to them when I get it to them. I'm going to focus on selling. But fast forward, I ended up working for a company called the Gartner Group. They are a very large technology consulting firm. I became the president of the Southeastern Software Association. That was a volunteer kind of gig. But my clients were like, you know, the technology CEOs or the senior vice president of marketing or sales. And in the late 1990s or the .com era, I would have companies that would go from like zero to literally hundreds of millions of dollars, and in some cases, billions with a B. And some of my clients became billionaires and very successful. And at the time, I guess I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing it naturally. I was adding massive value. I would go to one CEO who's doing very well. He flipped his company. The stock market was, you know, rewarding him. I would talk to the other CEO, similar industry, and his business was failing or the stock market wasn't rewarding him. I'm like, hey, what if I put you guys together? Let me set up a lunch. Let me set up a meeting. And then one time I set up a tennis match with 3 of the wealthiest people in all of Atlanta, the 3 rock star CEOs of Atlanta's technology world. And to this day, that's 25 years later, I'm still in touch with those guys. As a matter of fact, one of them 2 weeks ago is going to put us in touch with, you know, the governor of the state of Georgia to help them with medical supplies. So literally in real world, if I look back 12 years, and here's the good news, I've been selectively outsourced 4 times in my life. That means I've been fired or laid off, or what I call selectively outsourced. I've battled depression numerous times in my life to the point where I couldn't get off the couch, out of the bed, make a phone call, embarrassed, shameful, whatever.
I love this.
And the reality is today, in less than 3 weeks' time, so from 3 weeks ago, by the way, let me back up. On April 1st, 2006, I got a call from the HR person and my boss basically telling me my role at the company was no longer needed, or my services. I was shocked. I was saddened. I was frustrated. I didn't have much money in my bank account at the time. And I don't know if anyone's ever had a lot of money and then the money's just, the spigot's turned off overnight, and that's what happened. And I asked, why am I being let go? And they said I was doing too much networking. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, right? The thing I'm most famous for today, Forbes magazine considers one of the top networking experts in the world. Inc. magazine considers one of the most connected people in the world of business. And these days I'm a phone call from, you know, one of my partners was on the phone with Trump the other day. We are one phone call, one and done. You know, we got to the head of the VA, you know, head of the FEMA, and it's all through helping other people. It's all about adding value over and over and over. It's me helping the homeless guy. It's me helping the CEO.
Bingo.
Value every single way. 12 years ago when I got the call saying my service is no longer needed, I had no idea what I was going to go do. And fundamentally, within, I don't know, 30, 60 days, I had met Bill Clinton. He gave me his private contact information in under about 30, 45 seconds. I invited him to participate with We Are the World. I had met Sir Richard Branson, my all-time favorite business idol, business hero entrepreneur. He gave me his private email in less than 30 seconds. Same thing, Larry King invited me to breakfast after about 60 seconds. That same year, I started a group called the Speaker and Authors Networking Group, and everyone from Tony Robbins paid his own way to come to my event. He attended my event and he spoke at my event. Paula Abdul, when American Idol was the #1 television show, she called to ask if she could attend my event. We said yes. She paid her own way to come and fly and speak or whatever. Everyone from Brendan Burchard to Russell Brunson to the owner of the Golden State Warriors, the owner of the Golden State, the Dodgers, the owner of Zappos, all these people. That was who once a year I would host an event with the best of the best, the top thought leaders, the top entrepreneurs. Did that for a dozen years, built a very influential network. Again, one connection at a time. And it could be, if you're hearing this live today, you take a summary of what you learned from me and Richard and Tom and everyone else, and you share that information with someone else. That's value add. Maybe there is someone else that's got a live stream later today that's a value, and you're sharing that, and that's a value. My friend Tony Hsieh from Zappos wrote a book called Delivering Happiness, and by just sending him an article, that Time magazine did a whole series on happiness, and I sent him the article saying, hey, they did a whole magazine on this. I don't know if you've seen this. You're probably too busy. So that's a value. Me connecting someone is a value, connecting dots. I am connecting people all day long, every single day, and I've done this for 30 years. And so just to give you the perspective, the power of influence, the power of connecting, the power of adding value, in the last 10 days to 2 weeks, I started a new entity. We literally just incorporated. I don't even know if the incorporation is live yet. And it's called Give First Global. I did it because I'm always giving first. And I believe that's just a better way of living life. I very rarely ask for anything. I try to just serve other people to make a difference. Just to show you the power in this, I reached out to 7 people. All 7 have built billion-dollar companies or run a billion-dollar company or turned around a billion-dollar company. All 7. Some have run Fortune 10 companies. One guy started a company from zero, brought it to 800 million, and advises people like Jeff Bezos and Amazon Web Services. An hour before this, one of my friends, Keith Ferrazzi, author of Never Eat Alone and Who's Got Your Back, the #1 expert in the world on how to manage virtual teams, he gave us 10 minutes of his time. He probably gets at least 6 figures a day or more to consult companies, gets a lot of money for a 1-hour talk. Right before he finishes my thing, to my team, he moves over to talk to the president of Verizon, okay? And the only reason I tell you this, when you add so much value to so many people, years ago, something happened with his son. I'm not at liberty to discuss. He called me, and I added value to him on something he personally cared about. Something that I learned from Keith is to do personal and professional check-ins. And what I mean by that is, what's going on in your life, Tom, personally? What's going on professionally? And in the last month, I've sent lots of text messages, lots of video messages, asking people what are they most excited about now? What opportunities do they have now? What challenges do they have and are facing now? I have a friend. He was running one of the largest seminar companies in the world. I don't even know if that company is in business anymore. And if, the world has changed in the last 60 days. We've all been quarantined. Businesses that were doing well 30, 60 days ago are not doing so well. People that have a lot of real estate, landlords that were very wealthy, if the people aren't paying, so the world has changed. So what we've done, we've helped the first responders with these masks, hand sanitizers, wipes, ventilators, all sorts of things that hear Governor Cuomo and Donald Trump, screaming about that they need help because of my connections, not just me. We have some of the most connected people in the world working on this project. And it's basically a lot of entrepreneurs who are innovative that can cut through red tape. If product can't get through China, I know who to call that can, have political connections to get it out of China. If, this guy right here, this cool mask, this wasn't even a company 2-3 weeks ago. They created this on the fly. It's interchangeable. And basically what they have is interchangeable. These are considered K95 masks. And just like a Gillette razor, you can pull out the razor and add a new one. These have filters that you can, new technology. designed by one of the designers at Nike. This entrepreneur stepped up, and they're putting manufacturing plants. One of my friends is the largest owner of swimwear manufacturing in the world. I called him up after I reached out to the governor of California, and I said, hey, do you know anyone that has these masks? He goes, as a matter of fact, we flipped some of our manufacturing facilities. And in the last few weeks, him and I have been working side by side, sending him opportunities, vice versa. And probably, I don't know, in the last 10 days, I don't know, an extra 10 or maybe 20 or I don't know, even 30 people are helping me, internal, external, whatever, so we can help the first responders in the United States and around the globe get product that will help them save lives. And
So
that's
your
the power.
entire life is
That's the power of
connection with contribution. You just make everybody's life better, and it works out for you.
100%.
Now, how about the speakers company? Is that?
You know, I'm not actively, to be honest with you, I've turned down every interview request in the last month. I even told your assistant I have maybe 12 minutes max, maybe 15, because right now we're highly focused, heads down on doing everything. And, I'm passing off other additional opportunities just to focus on helping get this new company, this new entity off the ground, hiring the right people. Literally, I have someone who is one of the top bakers in America because of high trust relationship. Her name is Dr. Betty Uribe. She's one of my advisors. She has stepped in to help get this new company operationalized. Yesterday, I spoke to someone for 3 minutes who I know. I've known this person for 20 plus years. He used to be the #2 executive at the NBA. He used to run the Atlanta Hawks and the Atlanta hockey team. This is someone that, we're very tight. He's helped me. I've helped him. I spoke to him for less than 3 minutes, and he got on a Zoom call for an hour last night so I could explain more of what we're doing. But he also shared best practices on how he became one of the top sports marketing guys in the world. But the bottom line, him and I bonded over.
We got to take a break. We got to take a break. If you want to stick around for 3 more minutes, you can. Otherwise, you go back to work. But we love you. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be right back. Holy criminally, man. You are a fire hose son of a gun with some content. Thank you. Now we're on the break, so you can just be Larry.
So 3 minutes, and then we're going to hop off so I can get back to helping the first responders.
Yeah, so just thanks a lot. And, you didn't bullshit us. All you did was come with your heart and showed people, because you explained to me you in that short radio segment, and the world's going to know that now, and we're going to help you make this company huge and everything else you're doing in your life, because you're doing a hell of a job. By the way, because you're a connector like I am, we could, it's hard to have one-on-one conversations these days with everything going around me. But if you have companies, the network marketing companies, everyone in their warehouses are going to have to wear masks. They're going to need hand sanitizer. They're going to need wipes. They're going to need gowns. They're going to need all this stuff. I'm happy to work something out. I'll have some of my people follow up with you. But even if you just referred us these people and we help them, I'm happy to credit your foundation or just give you compensation or whatever. But I have never seen an opportunity in my life on what's been going. The demand for this stuff is bananas. And I'm just glad that my 30 years of connection is finally paying off, so we can help people in real time get product to where it needs to go in America, in Israel, Italy, around the globe. So, so this contact mapping that he owns, this little company is all about interviewing people professionally and personally, documenting, writing it down where you can find it, and following up with integrity. Is that what your life is all about?
100%. I tried your guys' software. I have other software that I was already using, so I didn't really use it that much. But your product is a really good product. Just it wasn't the best fit for me with everything else I already had built behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well,
and I was impressed. I was impressed with you guys when I met you guys. I met someone else in addition to you, Tom, in Dallas at that network marketing thing.
Oh, he was a jerk.
Oh, okay.
No, I have no idea who it was. That's so funny.
You guys gave me, it was the guy that gave the t-shirts out.
Yeah, the guy was. He was probably a wonderful human.
But I'm going to tell you, Larry. What is it? We didn't hear that.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
All right. So, how much time we have?
1 minute.
Okay. So, Larry, we're going to end this. You're out of here. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. If you want to come back when this is behind us and really train the people on how to be you, I would really, really enjoy that. You are a pleasant surprise. When you were going to be late, I had a story about that because we always do. I had no idea you were saving the world, so I want to apologize to the universe and tell you that whatever we can do to help you, we will.
Last thing, as it relates to the network marketing industry, because that's your guys' space. You know, I would love to help the industry as a whole. I'm probably the single best person in the world right now on getting trust quickly. And, you know, I have billionaires give me their personal contacts in less than 30 seconds, right? Richard Branson. I could show other people how to do what I've done for years, but I don't have time to chase. And right now, that's not the time. But down the road, I'm happy to do stuff to serve the industry so they can all make more money and become better business people, add more value, serve more people, make a bigger difference, whatever they want to go do by building more high trust relationships. Happy to do it. And I know you know all the right people.
I will take care of it. Thanks a million. We'll see you later.
See you.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing day.
All right.
Bye.
3, 2, 1. And we're back. It is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Holy mackerel. We've had a crazy day, Adrian.
That's wild. Yeah, no kidding.
So, holy mackerel. That was exhausting. Brooke was an unbelievable fill-in. I mean, there's nobody better. And on the fly, and so kind, and so funny. And Kimmy and his dog, Marley, and his daughter, Haley, just crazy today. And this Larry Benet, I'm telling you, and you know what he just said? And I'm going to give away a secret, because the guy walked up to me, and he wanted to meet me. He goes, "Oh, would you like to go to the Masters?" And I go, "What?" Or it was something, it was the Masters or something. I don't know what he thought I was, a golfer or something. But he offered me tickets to something that was so much bigger than anything I'd ever been offered tickets before, like in the first 10 seconds. So it wouldn't have taken me 5 seconds to give him my phone number, my wife's phone number, and my email address.
Yeah,
and
right.
Speaking of my wife, don't you love Denise?
She's the best.
Isn't she an unbelievable person?
What'd you do wrong?
Huh?
Nice.
Nothing. There's a comment in there. She says, "You're not talking about your wife very much."
Oh, that's right. We got to sort that out.
Yeah. And how's your wife doing?
My wife is good. You know, this season at home has been, I think, the best thing. You know, it's crazy how times when you get upended and you there's so many silver linings, and one of them is family.
Beautiful things out of the coronavirus that you can think of that you know that you're not going to be able to guess that has happened to you in the coronavirus with you and I.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. What changed completely that flips you out? Going to church with you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Adrian, I hate churches. I feel like I'm the only sinner in the whole joint. I figure they all know. I feel like I've got that mark on my forehead called Satan's after this guy. And so I won't go into a church no matter what. And I don't like all the singing so much. I want to just hear like somebody deeper than me talk about spirituality without trying to scare the crud out of me. And so they intimidate me, and the people intimidate me, and I'm a closet introvert. People don't know that. So I'm sitting there all alone, and I'm always very uncomfortable in churches, but online church with him and watch am I ready to make me cry right now? This virus has done unbelievably beautiful things for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's so true. And it's funny how you that's something you never could have planned for or guessed or anything. And you know, I think we're all reaching back into our core values and reaching back into, you know, how do we kind of ground ourselves into the things that really matter in a time where everything is kind of upended and uncertain and everything else. And there's some huge beauty that comes from that. And I think some huge lasting shifts that I think are going to happen in our society as a result of that too, because I think that we've had this collective moment of like all going through that in our own way that I think is going to change us going forward in a positive way when we come out the other side of this thing?
The popcorn popper story. I think was a much better story than Richard Brooke gave me credit for. And I am going to tell you that we have figured out how to make you unbelievable contact mappers before we make you network marketers. How to become unbelievable contact mappers before you become the soccer mom or the salesman or anything else. And where I made my mistake was I turned you over to everybody else. And then I had to undo a bunch of stuff that happened there when my entire mission on this planet and my job on this planet, and I am positive of it today, my legacy on this planet is the relationship side of it. The magic of that Larry Benet, the magic of that Richard Brooke, the magic of Curtis Broom and Lisa Grossman. That is where I am absolutely magic. And trying to emulate Eric and Ray and Frazier and Rob and Mark J and Todd Falcone. And by the way, Todd Falcone's mom, heartbreaking. If anybody can tell him in the form of a text or something else that we did mention his mother, we're heartbroken about it. I know he got the call at 4:30 in the morning. There is no way to prepare for something like that. And our heart, and nice guy,
Such
and
a
his
nice guy.
beautiful wife and their boys. I mean, just makes me cry.
Oh,
Yeah.
unimaginable.
Well, yeah. By the way, I'm your dad.
Don't
Don't die.
Don't die.
So the name of the game, and there's no gift on the planet than working with your son. I mean, I would love nothing more than little Dominic to be my partner, along with Adrian, and our daughter Courtney to be our partner, along with Adrian, in this contact mapping endeavor going forward. And the universe is moving itself that way, believe it or not. And I am telling you, our job is change the world, and we are committed to doing that with you. So contactmapping.com. You want to go there. We're going to have a whole new vision statement up there that is going to blow your mind. So we almost out of here.
We got about a minute left, and let's let them know who's coming next week, which I'm just confirming for you right now. Or we can't. Oh, Gordon Hester's next week. That's
Gordon
exciting.
Hester has just written an unbelievable book. And if you guys don't know Gordon Hester, internationally famous, teaches at colleges, involved with the DSA, involved at the highest level of thought leaders in network marketing. And the light on the integrity of this profession is what he will show you. He will show you that literally everybody should have a network marketing business, and he'll do it from a real fact-based, not Tom Chenault hype-based conversation. It's going to blow you. Adrian delivered it. You're going to love this guy. I spent a lot of time with him. I love him with all my heart. We'll see you all next week on the Network Marketing Leadership Show with Adrian and Tom. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Well, the show after the show.
We got the show.
We have no
show.
shows.
We don't know. We got
Are we having a show after the show?
Get us out of here.
People don't know. No, Marianne is, what you guys don't know is Marianne's a beast. Because obviously, so what happened was we tested the show, and then it was good. And then what happened after that was we decided to update Zoom, which was bad, terrible idea. So what happened after that is everything got all jacked up, which is expected when you update in between the test and the show. And Marianne is unflappable. She didn't miss a beat. She moved all the equipment. The only thing I hate about the couch here, and at the beginning of the show I had it, because I sit so far back on this couch and I look like the perfect pyramid. So I was actually hiding behind this computer in the first time of the show because I didn't want to look like Brooke. Sorry, Brooke. And so that was, and he was sitting straight up, so I was all jealous of him. So that's what that was all about. Well, you got to be authentic.
Got to exercise your demons on live television.
Amen. So everybody, next week, I love you with all my heart, and thanks for letting Adrian and Curtis Broom. Taylor Worre.
Happy birthday, guys.
Did we hear something great about Taylor Worre today?
He's awesome.
Yeah, behind your back, Taylor, people were saying such good things. Dave Mack, we can say that.
Yeah.
Dave Mack is a guy that's in Taylor's company, and he was talking about a Zoom that Taylor did 2 nights ago and talked about Taylor's integrity at a level you wouldn't believe. And, he's Eric's son. And, that would be it's kind of like this poor kid living in my shadow. No, I'm living in his, but opposite. But yeah, cool. Anyway, happy birthday, Taylor. I know you're just about to be a father, and all of you. I love you. Later. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're out.
Wow.
Oh.